What's up, everybody? Today we're joined with Daniel DiPiazza.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, buddy. And so we're both rocking the Alpha Mentorship shirts. That's actually the first program that I got involved with Daniel, and we become good friends over time. And I just had an event here called Spring Awakening, and he came and did an hour keynote, which was phenomenal.
Thank you.
But today we're here to talk about health, healing, and sharing an adjustment. And you were just talking a little bit about something with entrepreneurship and leadership and how health is important.
Yeah, I mean, what I was saying, and this is the core tenet of Alpha Mentorship, is that when you improve the leader, you improve the business. So many times we approach entrepreneurship from just this left brain, tactical, strategic way of thinking, well, it's what are the numbers, what's the money, and all that's really important and it's part of developing a good business. But what's behind that? The core is the leader. And if you aren't focused on your own health, which includes your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and everything in between, then the business isn't going to grow. And what we see within our company and the people that we train in our various programs is that when they start to push themselves to their edge, when they're challenging themselves, and when they're also taking care of themselves in all those various ways, it's like magic, the business improves. Yep. Why is that? Well, it's because you're the energy source for everything that's happening, and when you are grounded and centered, everything else follows behind that.
100%. It's all about your vibration, what you're carrying in all dimensions. But for right now, let's get back to the chiropractic adjustment. Now, you also, we set a 3-month goal and vision of the best version of ourselves. And one of the things that's coming up on your list is to be a jiu-jitsu world champion.
Yeah, man.
And you were just training with the world champion.
Why are you making me put this out here right now, man?
Oh, man.
You know, okay, yes, that's my goal, that's my vision, that's my commitment that I've made. I made it publicly, I made that declaration yesterday. Yes. And part of that's just really, really consistent training. And to do that, I have to feel my best. And that doesn't always mean I'm gonna feel 100%, but I also need to be maintaining myself at all times.
And today, what have you been feeling? You've been talking about something feeling your neck.
Yeah, just my neck's a little bit jacked up from just rolling all week, and so we just got to get it worked out, man.
Cool. Let's go ahead and have you face that way. Okay. Seth, if you want to come here, so just stand right there, and just look straight ahead, Daniel. So one of the things I was noticing is he does have a drop trap on this right side, so it's a lot fuller, and you even see this ridge activated a lot more on the left. Typically, when you're getting upper trap activation, you're thinking more occiput. So yes, he has pain on this side, but I'm thinking more of a posterior occiput on this side. And then if you see this, he's actually fuller here. So he's got fuller here and drop here. This is part of the levator scapula. Levator scapula inserts onto the posterior aspect of C1. So he potentially has some C1 posterior rotation, which would mean that he has a posterior occiput on the opposite side. Go and take a little bit of a walk. Come on back. He has less arm swing on the right side. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and get you going face down. So those are some quick analyses that you can do when just doing standard visualization and then motion visualization, meaning the person is walking. I'm also seeing that his hip is rocked forward on this right side. He has more fullness on, actually he's got more activation on the right erector. Rectus spinae. We're going to check how the pelvis moves as we bring him from position 1 to position 2. More stuck on the sacrum actually on the right side. So right now if the ilium's rolled forward, we call that an anterior superior ilium, and it typically would have a posterior sacrum on the same side. When I bring the legs to position 2, I feel the hesitation and or fixation happening on the SI joint, mainly on the medial aspect, so we're thinking more sacrum. Yeah, so you can tell he's been working. So putting in the work, and he actually got to train with one of his, what'd you call him, professors, right? On Thursday, professor. Got in a pretty gnarly armbar as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of compensation happening. This is being really active, so you call it hypertonicity of that muscle. A lot more relaxed on the trap on this side, but there's also stuff going on in the neck. So it's got a raise here. So what needs to happen is a counterclockwise torque to help drop that trap down. And I'm trying to see where it's anchoring in the thoracic spine. It's anchoring right here about T6, T7. So we're trying to drop it down, find the ease. So now we see got balancing of the traps. Now with the balancing, now we can put an impulse. There it was. So that's for the system now to re-recognize itself. Yeah, big time posterior occiput. Let's go ahead and adjust the pelvis. Go this side up for me. Yeah, so actually part of the reason the YouTube videos launched again is that our first MasterMind weekend in LA is where I was doing some adjustments with some of the people that showed up in that group, and people were interested in watching. I think I adjusted for about an hour, and people watched for an hour, and they're like, man, this shit's interesting. You're like a wizard. You know, you need to put this shit on YouTube. And here we are. All right, so right there, we're gonna roll. Nice, brother. Go to the other side.
Yep. Okay, sure. I trust you completely.
Thank you, sir. For multiple reasons. All right. Good. And Daniel's actually about to go on tour, the Wielding Power tour. Go right here. There it was, on your stomach. Which is psychedelic talks for entrepreneurs. First stops in LA on 4/20, and then he'll be coming to Oakland in May, which we're excited to have him out here. So already we're seeing balancing in the traps. So we've done a sacrum adjustment, an ilium adjustment, and then if you want to come actually take this view, Seth, so you can actually see that this trap is starting to activate again. This one's starting to drop down. What we did was a thoracic adjustment. So we haven't adjusted the CT junction of the neck yet. We did a T7, but we unwound the fascia that was becoming super tight and contracted up here. We unwound it, and by doing that and then checking the rest of the system, because all of this system is communicating to each other. These aren't individual sections. You're already starting to see a lot of balancing. You're actually starting to see a decrease in the tone of the occiput as well. So actually, I'm gonna have you stand up and just see how it's looking so far. I think this is interesting. So if you want to stand up here and face away again. Good. So what you're seeing is you're getting equal ridging again of this area. This trap's already starting to elevate. This one's starting to descend a little bit. I still think we have a little bit more to do. Go ahead and bring your chin forward. So you like jut your neck forward. There you go, and bring it back. Okay, so he's still posterior on the occiput on the left side. So let's go ahead and have you lay on your back. I'll adjust your neck here. Good. Okay, so posterior occiput. We're gonna get a high grip on the skull and then continue to sink in until we get our connection. There we go. And then it is also C1, so this is upper cervical. So you had occiput on the left, C1 on the right, posterior. Let this go, relax. Yeah, see, he was holding his chest. Relax that. There it was. Whoa. Now he's coming back online. And then was this the arm that you had, the arm bar? Yep. Okay. So also had an arm bar. Typically when you get an arm bar, you're gonna get the radius to go anterior. So the distal, the proximal head of the radius. Doing a anterior radial head is pretty difficult. So I usually will use an activator. So we'll find the distal, the proximal portion, do a slight distraction, and some activated work. Okay, and actually we do have this will be a slight adjustment. There we go. There we go. And then checking clavicle. He did have some anterior roll happening on the left side of the glenohumeral head. Ribs feel good. It's actually a little bit loose on the, so he's a little bit loose on the SC joint, really fixated on the AC joint, so where the clavicle inserts into the acromion process. So we're gonna adjust the shoulder too. All right, so you're gonna put this arm behind your head, just like that. So we're gonna see if there's also any thoracics or ribs involved. And I do have the T3s involved. And then we're gonna make a contact to the AC joint, or the distal head of the clavicle. Go ahead and bend your right knee for me. There you go. That's right. There it was. Whew. Solid.
Whoa.
Yeah, buddy. Changes shit.
Okay. All right.
All right, stand up again. All right, face that way. Good. Awesome. Much more balancing. So now you're starting to see this activate a little bit more. Definitely getting the equal ridging here. Go ahead and take a walk. Good, and come on back. A little bit more arm swing. Beautiful, how's it feel?
Better.
Yeah?
Yep.
Better is better. Mm-hmm. At any point in that range of motion that you still feel pain?
Yeah, it stops right about here. I think I have more range of motion on this side.
Uh-huh.
It stops right about there.
Okay, let's check you in the chair real quick. Come on over here. All right, so this is a full tune-up. I don't get to see them that often. Typically, you know, when people are in care, it's one step at a time. But his system, since he's training quite a bit, is able to take a little bit more input. So I'm seeing if there's anything left for us to work on here. So we haven't adjusted anything in the lower neck yet. You a little more tender sit on the right side here.
Yeah, it feels good though. The pressure feels good.
Yeah. So I believe the primary was the upper cervical, and we've gone the upper thoracic and mid thoracic release. I'm just gonna check this C5 on C6 real quick. And there's something deep in there, man.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and go back to your back one more time.
You're getting choked out recreationally, it just happens.
Keep your knees bent for me. So having the knees bent takes some pressure off the neck region by bringing ease to the spinal cord. So it's a deep, like disc level C5 on C6. Seeing if we can connect to it. There. Let the neck come into a slight extension. There. And then we're gonna bring you over here. Okay. Tough. We're actually gonna have to lift this one. All right. Got it.
What do you mean lift?
Man, I gotta pull your head out of your ass. That's what I'm talking about. Lift your head up for me. All right, let your head go down. All right, perfect. So we're gonna use the Y strap to target C5, C6, primarily getting an axial distraction. That joint is pretty inflamed, and I believe it's inflamed at the level of the disc. And so we're gonna unload the disc with the Y-axis distraction. All right, let me see how we're doing here. So as you see, he's starting to slide. Dylan, you want to come help provide support on, let's actually go onto his ASIS, and then going down, if you want to face the other way. Yeah, just like that. Good, and that's enough right there. So lay down his, let go just a little bit. There you go. There it is. Take a breath for me, Daniel. Exhale, let it go, I got you. Okay, let's let go of that tension. So inhale, take an inhale, and let it go. Relax, I got you. Let go of your neck here. There.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Whoa, daddy.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa.
You feel that distraction?
Whoa.
Yeah. All right, automatically another change in heat.
Whoa.
Yeah. Getting a little sweaty now.
Yeah.
Let's let go of some toxicity of the system. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he had a decent torque on the neck there. No joke. No joke. Okay, stand back up again. Move it around. Better?
Better.
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 There it is. So those interested in chiropractic care, hit us up at the Source Chiropractic in Oakland, California. We are doing healing immersions for people that want to fly from out of town now. You can come stay 1 to 3 weeks. Any last words for the good people?
Improve the leader, improve the business. That's
There
what we're
it
doing
is.
here.
Get better every single day. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Appreciate it.